This morning, I have this, I don't know, I can't even call it divine inspiration because it's not. It's like an outside radio station that's like going off, like, you know when you go over a train trestle and the bar comes down and the sign's flashing because the train, you don't see it yet, but it's about to come through. Well, this morning there's something like screaming about gender study. And now I'm sitting here going, gender study? That would be Gender. I'm like, what could the dumb, fucking, useless human population that wants to always get the innocent in trouble be using that word for? I am like, all right, well, if we break the word down, gen, could be a genealogy, begins with that word. So then that would lean towards lineage studies. Interesting. That would then tie in with corporate and international law. Interesting. Since there's been so much abuse of it, and then the people, and which one do you care for more, the products, materials, or the people, or the correctness, since there's no customs anywhere. There's no culture, there's no customs, there's no anything in this Bayside station as it pertains to myself. Under this, they call it a flag, but it's a symbol of some form of unity. While I'm traversing this hole, and I'm trying to keep myself safe in physics that are broken, I'm trying to alert, so this way I stop getting hurt. But then there's international trade, business, and lineage of other genealogies, some that are my color hue, but have a different place or look that's not me, but I don't know where on the Rapoggle they are, because they don't teach this kind of stuff in the pubic public school. They just don't. This is stuff that they teach at like Imperial Private and Classy and Polishing and Finishing School. So anyway, so there's that going on this morning. Then I'm like, okay, well, from my area of pubic school that I went to, that now my son is going to in public, I was like, they teach gender as male and female. Right. Okay. That's all. And then you've got some transgender, which is a hot topic, but from what I can decipher from the humans when they speak respectfully of one another, a transgender is like you're male by day, female by night, or somewhere along those lines. Even that gets confusing. I really don't get into that because that's personal hygiene issues. And it is none of my business. I don't want to partake in it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to study it. It is I respect you and your skeletons in your closet. I don't want to go looking through those. So my son this morning gets up. Last night he comes home with this costume. It's almost a pagan holiday called Halloween. They have these pagan traditions. They call it a national schedule of some sort in a holy day for the whatever that they totally took advantage of. Does everybody know this is the coronal plane up here? The coronal suture is up here. This is the frontal lobe. Then you have the two parietals on the side. It kind of reads like parent. That's at the temple mounted position. There's a coronal. Because they also say corona on Mexico. They have the word Mexico, but I'm going to Zico me on this Io mi Io, because there's no flag, there's no color when they use the word Mexico. It is a golden amber color, or a golden, more lemon color beer, more like this color. And it's in a glass bottle that is clear. So it gets confusing since the Mexican flag looks more like the Italian flag, but with some kind of symbol on it. So I'm leaving that at that because they are different issues. And Corona in my local area has a neon, N-E-O-N sign, S-I-G-N, in the window that has a crown on it. Just saying. That ties back to the skeletal feature of where the crown is. Anyway, so on this pagan holiday, this is what my son decides to dress up as. Except he takes the inside endoskeleton off of his face, and he puts this crown on directly without this, and he has his beautiful face here, and this is how he went to school without the sword and without the shield today. He looked so regal, walking down the streets with just this cape, with a little bit of fur, and 2 skulls and a chain, and then this crown on top of his blonde curls, and his little peanut nose, and he's a skinny little thing, which is good, because I don't want him being any thicker in girth, because right now there's a problem with Mom blowing up like a microwaved potato, but whatever. So he's walking, and he's got the cape, and the cape is, you know, whatever. And so I looked at him, and I say, what do you call this ensemble? And he says, he looks at me, he says, Viking. And I'm like, ooh, I was like, I like the sound of that. Viking. And then, of course, I make up my own phrase that's not English, and it's nothing I've ever heard the humans speak before. And I'm like, Maktevu Viking Via. And he looked at me and he just smiles, and I'm like, I don't know, it just sounded right for a Viking. Whatever. Because like in this world I'm living in, I had to search for the words, for the phonics, to say eins, zwei, drei, and via, without, because I don't know Germans. There are no Germans here, anywhere that I can find. And so in phonetics, in alphabet, flat North American New York English, D-R-E-I spells drei. Drei humor, right? You know, that's a spin on words, that's a joke. But I know from listening to a Google robot that when I asked for a video to teach myself 1 through 10, they say it's eins, zwei, drei, via. But the sound of V-I-E-R, via, oh my God, it is like, I don't know, it just brings such joy to one's heart. I don't know why. One of those things. So anyway, so Nucci walked in his pagan, I don't know, what do you call this? They call this Dark King on the package. They call it a Dark King on the package, I don't know. So he walked with his full facial skin on to school as the Dark King. He calls himself the Viking. I said, you look like a warrior king in the making. And so he says, Mom, he says, I'm a Viking. I go, right, Vi, you're the 6. All right. So, because Alex is the 5, so that makes Nucci the 6, for Vi. And in Soviet, Alex is first, then there's the world, and then it's the 6 comes after, and I'm 5'6" in height. And then E is the inverse of 3, and then there's 1 crossover. I noticed in the schoolyard there are some children today that are not wearing pagan pageants and peasantry. They're not partaking in the school's national holiday. I don't know how that ties in. Considering I'm working on half a verse and trying to put this together myself while in a whole and not get in trouble at upper gamma or lower gamma, since I'm the G in the middle that totally got fucked in this entire situation. I'm in a pool, I'm being instructed by a coach, I'm swimming and following the instructions, and then all of a sudden the coach, I look up out of the water, I pop my head up, and he's gone. Nobody knows where he went. Do I get out? Do I keep swimming? I don't know. Are there towels? Am I going to be cold? I mean, that's what this on that in North America has felt like in New York. Coach just disappeared, because that's what stands at the edge of the pool. If you're Michael Phelps and you're doing some laps, guy at the edge of the pool, it's your coach. COACH. That's the label they give them. So now, I don't know what happened to the coach. I don't know why I got left in the pool. I don't know why the water in the pool keeps going up and down, why people keep jumping in and out, and if that's going to change the chemistry of the pool and make it unsterile or sanitary, kind of leads one to believe. But I don't really know what to do, because there's no coach at the end of the pool. Just saying. Or at least there's no coach at the end of the pool that speaks Nicole. And speaks like Generation Century 19, Year 78. I got something named Lou and Linda. They don't know how to swim. They're in a different lane, same pool, but different lane. And they need a coach. I don't see their coach either. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole Catarosa. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. But I know the fact that most of the parents up at the school, there's a few that are children actually wore costumes. They're really few and far between. And the most popular one that I saw was Pikachu, which is for my Mayan calendar, baby. It's that one up there. Well, this one. In this color. Some of the children were wearing sweatshirts with ears and one hat on, and then there was one child who was dressed as a rat. So that's what the pagan schoolyard is sporting this morning, but a lot more children were in the yard wearing no costume whatsoever. I asked the assistant principal who was standing outside with the uniformed security guard. I asked them if today they were going to have a parade, because they used to come out of the school, parade around the school, and then go back in, and the parents could come up, take photos, whatever. They're not doing that today. And there was another year where I actually was allowed into the building, into the gymnasium, to watch him like eat donuts and all this other stuff. But this year they don't have any of that. They don't even have the parade outside. So that's interesting. So it is October 28th, 2021. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And as far as weather goes, oh, my knees hurt. It's a sky dome this morning, so it's not many clouds at all, and it's like some form of blue, like a blue white within the visible spectrum.